Hello students, in this video I am going to discuss about transport and tunnel mode. The figure shows two ways in which the IP security ESP service can be used. In figure A, this figure, the encryption is provided directly between two hosts. Figure B, that is this figure, shows how tunnel mode operation can be used to set up a virtual private network. In this example, an organization has 4 private networks interconnected across the internet. These are the private networks and this is internet. Okay. Hosts on the terminal networks use the internet for transport of data but do not interact with other internet based hosts. By terminating the tunnels at the security gateway to each internal network, the configuration allows the hosts to avoid implementing the security capability. The former technique is supported by a Transport Mode Security Association, while the later technique uses a Tunnel Mode Security Association. Next, we look at the scope of ESP for the two modes. First, consider Transport Mode ESP. The Transport Mode ESP is used to encrypt and optionally authenticate the data carried by IP. And this is shown in figure B. This figure. This is for IPv4 and this is for IPv6. For this mode, using IPv4, the ESP header is inserted into the IP packet immediately prior to the transport layer header, that is TCP, UDP or ICMP. See here, this ESP header is inserted prior to the transport layer header. The ESP trailer, that is padding, pad length and next header fields, is placed after the IP packet. See here, ESP trailer. Okay. If authentication is selected, the ESP authentication data field is added after the ESP trailer. The entire transport level segment plus the ESP trailer are encrypted. See here, ESP authentication is added. Next, for IPv6, ESP is viewed as an end-to-end payload. That is, it is not examined or processed by intermediate routers. Therefore, the ESP header appears after the IPv6 base header. See here, this is ESP header and it appears after the IPv6 base header. The destination options extension header could appear before or after the ESP header depending on the semantics desired. For IPv6, encryption covers the entire transport level segment plus the ESP trailer plus the destination options extension header if it occurs after the ESP header. Again, authentication covers the ciphertext plus the ESP header. Transport mode operation may be summarized as follows. First one, at the source, the block of data consisting of the ESP trailer plus the entire transport layer segment is encrypted and the plain text of this block is replaced with its ciphertext to form the IP packet for transmission. Authentication is added if this option is selected. Second one, the packet is then routed to the destination. Each intermediate router needs to examine and process the IP header plus any plain text IP extension headers but does not need to examine the ciphertext. Third one, the destination node examines and processes the IP header plus any plain text IP extension headers. Then, on the basis of the SPI in the ESP header, the destination node decrypts the remainder of the packet to recover the plain text transport layer segment. The transport mode operation provides confidentiality for any application that uses it, thus avoiding the need to implement confidentiality in every individual application. One drawback to this mode is that it is possible to do traffic analysis on the transmitted packets. Next is tunnel mode ESP. The tunnel mode ESP is used to encrypt an entire IP packet as shown in figure. For this mode, the ESP header is prefixed to the packet and then the packet plus the ESP trailer is encrypted. So ESP header, ESP trailer. This method can be used to counter traffic analysis. The transport mode is suitable for protecting connections between hosts and supports the ESP feature. The tunnel mode is useful in a configuration that includes a firewall or other sort of security gateways that protects a trusted network from external networks. In this latter case, encryption occurs only between an external host and the security gateway or between two security gateways. This relieves hosts on the terminal network of the processing burden of encryption and simplifies the key distribution task by reducing the number of needed keys. Let's consider a case in which an external host wishes to communicate with a host on an internal network protected by a firewall, and in which ESP is implemented in the external host and the firewalls. The following steps occur for transfer of a transport layer segment from the external host to the internal host. First one, the source prepares an inner IP packet with the destination address of the target internal host. This packet is prefixed by an ESP header. Then the packet and ESP trailer are encrypted and authentication data may be added. The resulting block is encapsulated with a new IP header whose destination address is the firewall. This forms the outer IP packet. Next, the outer packet is routed to the destination firewall. Each intermediate router needs to examine and process the outer IP header plus any outer IP extension headers, but does not need to examine the ciphertext. Next, the destination firewall examines and processes the outer IP header plus any outer IP extension headers. Then on the basis of the SPI in the ESP header, the destination node decrypts the remainder of the packet to recover the plaintext inner IP packet. This packet is then transmitted in the internal network. Next, the inner packet is routed through the 0 or more routers in the internal network to the destination host. This figure shows the protocol operation for ESP. Thank you.